In Ukraine this week, a drone decided to kill someone.
Not a human pilot, not a human commander.
The drone decided.
And it did.
Lethal autonomous weapons systems, laws in the policy shorthand, are weapons that select and engage targets without human authorization, not without human involvement in the mission, without human authorization for the specific kill decision.
Arms control advocates have been warning about this threshold for a decade. The argument was that crossing it, having a machine make the independent decision to end a human life, was categorically different from everything that came before.
This week in Ukraine, it happened. Fully autonomous drones killed human soldiers. No operator approved the target. No human confirmed the decision. The drones selected, locked, and fired.
It's the first confirmed case. There have been near misses, systems operating in semi-autonomous modes, but a confirmed case, a machine making the independent kill decision in active combat.
The argument for autonomous systems has always been speed. Modern warfare moves faster than human decision loops. A drone swarm can attack and disperse in seconds. If your response requires a human in the loop, you've already lost the exchange.
The argument against is harder to fit into a strategy document. If an autonomous system kills the wrong people, civilians, allied forces, who is accountable? The manufacturer, the military that deployed it, the algorithm that made the call?
The legal frameworks for this don't exist. The international treaties don't exist. The Geneva Conventions were written for combatants who make decisions. This is something else.
On the same day this story broke, Dario Amodi, the CEO of Anthropic, published a policy essay specifically naming autonomous weapons as a critical AI risk category, as a category.
People inside the industry know what's being built.
This week, it closed.
The question is whether anything stops them from making it again.
Something else ran without a human in the loop this week. This one lives in fiction for now.
If you ask almost any major AI chatbot to tell you a story, there's a better than 88% chance it invents a character named Elias Thorne, who is either a lighthouse keeper, a clockmaker, or a librarian.
Not similar characters, the same name across competing models. OpenAI, Google, Anthropic, nobody talked to each other, nobody programmed this in.
It came out of training. All of these systems learned from overlapping corners of the internet, and somewhere in that overlap, Elias Thorne was waiting.
Which tells you something about what the internet actually looked like before these models were trained. Whoever was writing fiction on the internet had a type.
The brooding man with a solitary profession and a complicated past.
Apparently, his name is Elias.
The researchers who found this called it creative convergence, AI models independently arriving at the same narrow palette because they all drank from the same well.
Those AI-generated Elias Thorne stories are flooding book platforms, YouTube channels, fake news sites, thousands of them.
The models are about to train on their own output. The output is Elias Thorne.
Wait until 2 or 3 more training cycles of models reading their own stories about lighthouse keepers.
There's a word for what happens to a gene pool when it stops getting outside variation.
Nobody designed this feedback loop. It's how the publishing and content ecosystems work. Content gets made, content gets indexed, models get trained on indexes.
Elias Thorne didn't come from nowhere. He came from us, and now he might be all that's left. Tether is the company behind the most widely used digital dollar in crypto, a so-called stablecoin, a digital currency designed to always equal exactly $1 maintained by holding real dollars in reserve that moves around the financial system faster and cheaper than traditional banking. They just led a $1.4 billion round into a German robotics company called Neura.
Tether's entire business is financial plumbing, moving digital dollars between parties who don't want to wait for banks. That has nothing obvious to do with physical robots.
Neura is building humanoid robots. The goal is 5 million of them deployed by 2030. Amazon, Nvidia, and Qualcomm are also in on the round.
The plan isn't just to build robots and sell them to warehouses.
Each robot gets its own digital wallet.
So a robot completes a task, gets paid into its wallet, and can then spend that money on its own, on whatever it needs to keep operating: energy, maintenance, services.
Which means you're not just automating labor, you're creating economic agents, entities that earn and spend without a human in the loop.
The legal frameworks for that don't exist yet. Who owns what the robot earns? Is the wallet the robot's or the company's? If it pays for something and the something goes wrong, who's liable?
And Tether processing those transactions puts crypto infrastructure at the center of an economy that doesn't have any humans in it.
5 million robots handling their own finances by 2030 is either an ambitious press release or the first draft of something that requires entirely new rules about what it means to participate in an economy.
And the reason Tether specifically matters here, and not just any payments company, is that crypto wallets don't require a bank to approve the transaction. A robot can't open a checking account. It can hold a wallet. That's not a detail. That's the whole reason this architecture works.
Which means the choice of Tether isn't incidental, it's structural. The robot economy they're describing only functions if the money moves outside the rails that were built for humans.
James Webb found something in the early universe that astronomers have been calling little red dots, a star with a supermassive black hole at its center, actively devouring material, wrapped in a dense cocoon of gas. The black hole and the star feeding it together. They burn so intensely they don't last long, which is why we only see them in the earliest snapshots of the universe. Webb now has the strongest evidence yet that these things are real, and if they are, there's an entire chapter of how galaxies like ours actually formed that nobody has written yet.
There's a website publishing cybersecurity analysis with quotes from EFF experts, except the Electronic Frontier Foundation has never heard of these people. 5 staffers, cited across multiple articles, names, titles, quotes, all generated by AI. The site describes itself as grounded in verifiable sources. In 2 months, 5 fictional human beings became citable authorities on internet security. The unsettling part isn't that one bad site did this, it's that the cost of doing it is now basically zero. Spinning up a fake publication with fake experts and fake credentials is an afternoon project. The question of how you verify that a person you're reading actually exists is not a question most people have ever had to ask before.
Anthropic just released Claude Fable 5, which it's calling its most capable model, and then almost immediately blocked it from answering basic biology questions: mitochondria, cell structure, the kind of thing you'd find in a 9th grade textbook. The issue is that the model is so good at biology that the knowledge doesn't stay in the safe zone. Understanding how cells work at a deep enough level starts to overlap with understanding how to do things nobody wants AI explaining. So Anthropic quietly routes most biology questions to an older, less capable model instead. And it's not a permanent solution. It's a patch on a problem that gets harder the smarter these systems get. At some point, the line between general knowledge and dangerous knowledge stops being a line.
Training an AI model from scratch, building the whole thing, not just tweaking an existing one, normally costs millions of dollars and requires infrastructure most universities don't have. A research team just did it for about $1,500. They didn't use a faster computer. They changed the fundamental approach. Instead of training on a massive scrape of the entire internet, they built an architecture designed to learn from real question and answer pairs only. And it turns out that's dramatically more efficient. But the ceiling on what $1,500 buys you in AI just moved in a direction that nobody expected. And the assumption that you need a tech giant's budget to build something real from the ground up may already be outdated. Tomorrow, we keep going. The machines aren't stopping.
The drones, the robots, transacting with stablecoins, it's already happening.
This has been the Pulse Brief for Thursday, June 11th.
See you tomorrow.
Singularity Pulse is for informational purposes only. Nothing here is financial, legal, or professional advice. Views expressed are our own.
I'm Knox. Every Saturday on Pulse Deep Dive, one story told in acts. This season, how AI happened, who really invented the internet, and going back to the moon 53 years later. New chapter every Saturday. Find it wherever you listen.
Origins is a different kind of show. Every Sunday, we investigate the forces that shape the modern world, the geography, the science, the commerce, the decisions made centuries ago that are still playing out today. Find it wherever you listen to this podcast.